My own vision of how to deliver content for an asynchronous online class is something that relies on basically 3 steps or 3 ingredients. And this is borrowing, this is a colleague of mine explained this to me basically in 3 words, and I think it's a great way of explaining it. So steps or the ingredients of this recipe are read, watch, and practice. And so you could think of these as things that are linear. I like to think of them more in a cycle fashion. So you could read first, watch second, and realize you need to go back and read some more. And then after reading and watching and reading some more, then you go into the practice. And while you're practicing, you realize you have to watch again and read some more and then do some more practice, right? So I think that this is something more in a cyclic fashion. And so as far as the practice goes, this involves assessment at 2 levels, a low-level assessment and high-level assessment. And this is a part in which my collaborators are kind of helping me in terms of phrasing these kind of things in terms of something they call Bloom's taxonomy and some other theories of learning that are pertinent. I'm not so well versed in those theories yet, but I can tell you that part of the practice involves questions that are automatically graded, which are formative in nature, and then questions that are manually graded, which are both formative and summative types of assessments. So I mentioned something about a day in the life of anybody, and here I have an illustration that is a week in the life of a student in one of these asynchronous online classes that I have designed. And so typically a 3-credit-hour class would have an expectation of requiring 9 to 10 hours of work per week. A 4-credit-hour class would have an expectation of requiring 12 hours of work per week. And so the illustration I have here is, I have to admit, a little bit extreme in the sense that this is illustrating how to budget the time over 7 days a week. What you see at the bottom there is one way of distributing 12 hours and allocating this number of hours. The important thing is that structured in this way, students have due items 4 days. There are items that are due Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. On Wednesday, there is the items that are considered low-level assessments. That's when they are due. And the other high-level assessments, because my approach here is instead of having everything due one day of the week on Friday or Saturday, I segment or break that up into smaller pieces. This is also an attempt to assist or guide students into, you need to get to work as early as possible. Even though these things are due on specific days of the week, they could be submitted at any given time. So while my approach here, by providing this illustration, is a little extreme in the sense of you should be working 7 days a week, the student has the choice of maybe getting the work done in 4 days a week or 3 days a week. Certainly, with this I'm signaling, I do not recommend that you as a student do the work 1 day a week. In part, and the reason why this structure and having items collected on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, in part because the work here is what you're trying is you need to assimilate, you need some time to digest certain things, and this is an approach that is a building block kind of scheme on foundations, right? And so getting all the work done 1 day a week is probably not something that's going to help you too much. The other thing to notice is that there are some items that are due on Saturday, which would be some of those questions that are graded manually, and students have an opportunity to submit an early draft on Wednesday or Thursday of their work on progress, and by Friday, I can provide them with some general guidelines and some general feedback, and they could revise what they've done and submit a final version on Saturday. So, yeah, would you please...
I'm sorry, can you fill me in on the...
Would you please press the microphone? There's a red light.
Sorry, can you fill me on the abbreviations? PE, OC, and there was a third one.
Yeah, they are not too important for what I'm conveying here. There are a lot of abbreviations because this is a thing that I have from my syllabus. I'll be happy to share my syllabus with you. But the PE means portfolio exercise. I'll explain more that in detail. That is the manually graded question. OP means online practice. Those are the automatically graded questions. KC means knowledge check. Those are the low-level assessments. So the knowledge checks, I guess it's another word for quiz, but the idea with that is due on Wednesday, that being low-level, should be very simple questions. 1 or 2, very succinct. The way I have found, vendors or something that provide an access code with these question banks is a way in which there are questions that are actually called tutorials. And the tutorials offer the student the opportunity before answering the question to pull or generate. It's like maybe artificial intelligence-based kind of scheme. They can generate another version of the same question, and they can display not only the answer key, but also like step-by-step explanation of that type of question. They could practice that question with solutions before they actually submit an answer for that knowledge check, which is meant to be a low-level assessment. So yeah, there is a lot of abbreviations here that are kind of distracting. But
so the OP and the KC are automatically machine graded, and you personally grade the third one.
The third one, the one that is due on Saturday. So right. So this is, and I'll get to more how this structure came up. But yeah, so the structure is automatically graded stuff is due on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Manually graded questions are due on Saturday. If you have the incentive as a student, if you submit early your work in progress of the stuff that is written by hand, if you submit something on Thursday and Friday, I'll take a quick look and I'll give you some pointers, before you prepare and submit your final version. Definitely after you submit, you're going to get some feedback, okay?